Walt, has this season been a disaster up to this point?
I wouldn't call it a disaster yet. It's been a disappointment for sure, but there are a lot of games left for them to rectify the season. So because of the state of the Eastern Conference, Michael, come on. They're only, 2 games out with as full as they played. So they still have a chance to definitely make it into the playoffs.
I hear exactly what you're saying in a rational, mathematical sense, but they are 19-30. So let me ask you, a guy, a 2-time world champion, what leads you to believe and what will make them play better when they haven't played well for over half the season?
Pride. Maybe they'll finally get some pride and go out and play the way they're supposed to play. The owners, Mr. Dolan is giving them a vote of confidence. Nobody's going to get fired. Nobody's going to get traded. So that should take a lot of pressure off the guys right there. So all they have to do is just focus on the job at hand and go out and take care of business.
All right, who has to play better? I look at it this way, Walt. I want to get your take. I think that Felton has been a humongous disappointment this year, and I don't think Tyson Chandler is the defensive presence that he used to be. Who do you think are the culprits?
Well, no matter how much power you have in your engine, you need a spark plug. So Felton is right. He's the guy that has to make this team go, and he's been very erratic. You mentioned Chandler. The defense was the catalyst for this team last year. Chandler was the anchor to the defense. It's not the same this year. He's not as tenacious on the defense. Amari is in and out. Kmart is in and out. And the other guy, the culprit, is Shumpert. This was the year Shumpert had to make the quantum leap to being a star in the league. He played well last year coming off the injury, so there were high expectations. We knew about his defensive prowess. So we thought he was going to be able to average at least 15 points, the rebounds, and that hasn't happened.
Why? I mean, I know that's a tough question, one word, but why did it all go sour for Iman Shumpert?
I don't know. He started out good. He was playing well, finally found his shot. One reason I think were the trade rumors. Once he started to hear about the trade rumors, they seemed to take his confidence. Remember, he said he was angry at everybody. He didn't seem to be having fun on the court anymore. And then he had some good games. He put together a string of good games and looked like he was out of his funk, and now he's back into it. So, and then JR. JR didn't start off well. He's playing well now, but early in the season he wasn't playing up to expectations.
Now, there's a report on Sheridan Hoops that Woodson Woodson expects to be let go before the All-Star break. So I know you like Coach Woodson personally. How much of this season do you think falls at his feet? How much is his fault?
Well, you can't get rid of the players. That's one of the problems in the business. So whenever things go awry, they always focus on the coach. I think his problem was not getting the defensive intensity out of the team. The defense has been very erratic. Ironically, I thought the last game was the best defense they played all season. I thought they were very aggressive. They weren't looking for help. They were getting into guys. Melo finally got some help, and ironically, he didn't provide any going the fourth quarter without scoring. So I thought there were a lot of positives in that victory, in that loss, in the defeat of the last game. But they have not been able to carry that type of success into the next game. So like tonight, if they played that way in Milwaukee, obviously they would have beaten the Bucks, but they didn't. So we still have talked about them playing up to, down to the competition. And that seems to be the other problem for the Knicks.
I think, we've talked to Jeff Van Gundy about this a number of times, and he really gets aggravated when we even talk about it. But the players seem like publicly they've thrown Woodson under the bus. Tyson Chandler has complained about the type of defense they play. Melo was asked after the game against Portland, are you worried about Woodson's job? He said, well, I have nothing to do with it, and didn't say he liked him, just said he had nothing to do with it. And others have chirped as well about they don't make adjustments and things like that. Is that a sign that they're just giving up on Woodson, that they're not hearing what he has to say?
Well, it's something I don't approve of. If you have a problem with the coach, go to the coach. Don't go to the media. But it shows that something is awry. The team is in disarray, especially with a guy like Chandler, who has a lot of credibility, come out and talk about they knew our schemes and different scenarios as to why the Knicks lost a particular game. So it doesn't bode well on the coach when that starts to happen.
You've seen so much basketball in your life, Walt. Was there any scenario that you could have come up with when this season started that this season could be this bad?
No way. I was very optimistic. Coming off last year, we thought they made the quantum leap to being a good team, being a bona fide team in the playoffs. They gained that experience. We mentioned JR was back. The Shumpert was coming. They had Felton there, Chandler. So we thought these guys would come out with a lot of fire and desire, and I just haven't seen that every game. I haven't seen that type of tenacity every game where they seem to be a hungry team. You see it in spurts, but not for 48 minutes a game, and I think that's part of the problem.